Sean, thank you for joining me today on Pop Culture Unplugged.
Thanks for having me, pal. It's a pleasure.
Exciting times, my friend. Season six, right around the corner. I'll be dropping this interview on that day because we're going to be talking about spoilers, and I don't want, you know, there's a lot of things
Okay.
happening this season. A lot of things happening.
A lot of moving parts.
That's right. Last time we spoke, I want to bring this up. Last time we spoke, you had no idea you were going to be part of this, and you wanted to be part of this. Now that you are part of this, how does it feel for somebody like you to be part of this project
I
after all
mean,
these years?
I would say it's incredible. I've always joked that if I've had one really great talent in my career, it's the ability to catch on to coattails bigger than mine. Whether it was, being a part of General Hospital or Bold and the Beautiful now, which is the most watched daytime drama in the world, and now Cobra Kai, which is, uh, pretty much the most watched streaming show in the world. And I think because they announced that season six is going to be the final season, it's going to have an epic amount of viewership, might even be historic. And I'm just so honored to be a part of it. Can't wait for everybody to see it.
Yeah, I think, and if you go on like on Reddit or Facebook, everybody wants Mike Barnes.
Yeah.
That's what's great about it. Like, what's your thoughts about this character? Like, he's gone through all these years and everything, and like people, Karate Kid Part 3, you're the bad guy, but now it's like things have turned around for you, but like the fans love you. The fans love this character.
Yeah, I'm completely flattered by it. I mean, I'll tell you this: if I had met Mike Barnes when I was 17, he would have scared the crap out of me. There wasn't a whole lot of redeemable qualities that he had, but when the Big Three brought me back, they gave Barnes a redemption arc, and we were able to see a lot more layers and nuance to the character that didn't exist in Karate Kid 3, and I think that has only compounded the interest of the fans about who really is this guy.
Hmm.
And it's been fun for me to learn more about him as I've done Cobra Kai.
So in season six, we see you have a unique role in this season, I believe.
I definitely have the baddest ass gi in season six.
Right. I have
I
it
mean,
on
take
there
a
for
look
you.
at that thing. I mean, is that great?
Yeah. Did you have any input on that, Key?
I did have some input. Yeah, I did actually. Frank Helmer, who is the Cobra Kai costume designer, is a brilliant guy. Um, I had a little bit of input on it. We were trying to figure out, what kind of patch um, would represent the martial arts that Mike studied. And Shotokan was the first thing I ever studied, so we went with Shotokan. Shotokan is also Japanese, as is while Miyagi-Do is Okinawan. But what the Cobra Kai studied was Korean. So I like the fact that it was different than what the Cobra Kai studied. Um, and I took one look at that thing, and then when I realized that all the kids would be wearing white gis visually, I understood, how important it was that he chose this gi that in a sea of white gis is going to stand out. I was like, wow, thank you so much, and it really does.
At one point, you're watching those scenes too, and you're like, "Is Mike Barnes in charge of this?" Like
Is
that's
he?
what it cut. Well, I've seen it, so we could talk a little about that. Like, I like your role this season.
Yeah, yeah,
I like how he's training. He's kind of like training both dojos, but at the same time, he's given a responsibility.
yeah. And I think it furthers Mike Barnes's redemption arc. Um, he's hard on the kids, but he's fair.
Yeah.
And I think that this is another way that, without overtly saying I'm sorry to Daniel, he can say I'm sorry to Daniel and try and do something positive. I mean, in my mind, Mike Barnes is certainly not getting paid for this. He's doing this because he feels this is a way that he can give back not only to Daniel but to the kids. And there was an ad lib. What was an ad lib? I asked if we could add the line that, when Mike says, I blew my chance to go to the Sakai Taikai, and look over at Daniel referencing, his behavior at the All Valley. And the ad lib, the change in line was, I'm here to make sure that you don't do the same thing, something to the, and I felt that was important because, I think here's a guy that has sort of lost everything, and yet he still is getting back in touch with right and wrong, and realizes he has an opportunity to make a positive impact on these kids.
As an actor, when you're reading through scripts and everything, like when you were reading the script for this upcoming season, what went through your mind? Were you getting excited? Did you call the big three, say you love it, you want to throw something else in there, take something away? Like, what
Well,
went through your mind?
I was, I was really excited. I mean, this is something that I've been angling for a long time. I kept
Yeah.
putting out there, who better than Mike Barnes to train the kids for the Sky Taikai because he's a
Mm.
national champion. And that great line actually made its way into the script where Johnny says, I'm a champion, man, and I'm like, yeah, of the Valley, I'm a national,
Yeah, that's right.
and you know, I was so excited with it. And as I was down there, it seemed like I was kind of getting put in more and more scenes, even if I wasn't necessarily talking. And as an actor, I'm always looking to be impactful in the story and create an arc for my character. Um, and I was really happy with it. It was a lot of fun, and I thought it was there's an awesome fight in it that I think a lot of
Right.
people receive for quite a while,
Yeah.
and I don't think it disappoints.
That's right. Actually, my next set of questions were about that big fight of yours. Like,
Yeah.
every throughout the seasons, when if you go on the forums, they want to see a Barnes and Johnny fight. We finally get to see one. What Tell us a little about that. Describe
Well,
when you guys were filming that scene.
listen, I adore Billy. He's great. So, I knew that. Okay, I'll tell you the challenges of that scene were as follows. Billy had a ton of stuff that he had to do for the show, much more than I did. So, having the opportunity to actually rehearse with Billy a lot was challenging, which was all the more reason that I had to really kind of be on my game. My
Mm.
challenge was that I have a full and complete tear of my supraspinatus in my rotator cuff, and I'm having
Ooh.
surgery. Well, I'll have had it by the time this airs. I'm having surgery on the 11th.
Okay.
So they told me, the doctor, he said, look, if you think you're going to do Cobra Kai, and at this point, I hadn't been asked back for season 6. I just was planning as if. He said, there's no way you'll be able to do it. And
Mm.
so I put the surgery off and was able to, get through the fight scene. But when I was done and came back to LA, it was just evident that I had to have the surgery. I'm glad I put it off, but I have to have it now. So that was a challenge. And I think from a character point of view, Johnny and Barnes don't hate each other at all.
Right.
As a matter of fact, they like and respect each other. They're kind of cut from the same mold. I think with Barnes, he lost everything, and he's just like, I need to know that I can still cowboy up.
Mm.
I mean, it almost doesn't matter if I win. I mean, I think I'm going to win, but if I don't, I need to know that 35 years later, as a guy that's kind of been making furniture and now lost everything, that if push comes to shove, that I still can draw on the bad boy when I have to. And I like the fact that after the physical confrontation is over, you can see that these guys they respect each other.
Yeah, yeah, they do. And people are going to be talking about this fight years to come, I think, when they go back revisiting the Karate Kid, Cobra Kai era.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I'd be honored if they would talk
Yeah.
about it.
Who do you think won the fight? I got to put you on the spot.
Well, who do I think won the fight? I mean, you know, Johnny won the fight. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I think Barnes definitely got some shots in, but I think Barnes did pretty well, and you know, uh,
Right,
we only got to go at it one time because it's the final season. But
right.
yes, I have to bow my head in respect to Sensei Lawrence.
There you go. Now, they've talked about all these possible spin-offs and everything. Would you be on board for a Mike
Oh
Barnes
my gosh!
spin-off?
So I put this thing out on social as a joke about Chosen and Barnes being like two cops, two detective senseis in the valley, um, you know, trying to solve crimes and navigate the over 50 dating scene without much luck, and they're roommates like the Odd Couple. Maybe Chosen's a complete slob
Yeah.
and Barnes is like a neat freak, and I think there's a lot of comedic energy. I put it out as a joke, and people
Yeah.
like love this idea. So, geez, yeah, I'd be head over heels to do some kind of a spin-off if that came to fruition.
Yeah. I know like now Cobra Kai's been broken to like three different parts for this upcoming last part.
Right.
Are we gonna see you again? Can you tease anything? Can you say
I
anything?
I cannot say. I cannot comment on that. You just gotta draw your own conclusions from the first tranche of episodes that comes out on July 18th.
Yeah. And they're the way they're dragging it, like I said, I watched the first five, and now I'm like, now I gotta wait till November. It's like you
Yeah.
it's but what are you gonna do, right? That's how
Well,
the shows get you. That's how the shows get you.
absolutely. It gives people time to watch the other seasons if they haven't gotten caught up.
Mm.
Um, and I think it's going to be a part of uh, television history. I mean, I think that this has the potential to be the biggest streaming event so far because it's in three different blocks and because it's been announced it's the final season. I'm just really honored to be a part of it.
How would you say, like, you mentioned you working with Billy and everything, even like, being on screen again with Ralph, like, how do you describe that chemistry between all three of you?
I describe it as being comfortable. I think that we've worked together enough that we trust each other. I have a deep respect for both of them as actors. They're collaborative. They're professional, great at what they do, and we had a lot of fun doing it. I mean, it was a fantastic work experience.
Definitely. Overall, like, like with Mike Barnes, everything, like, how do you like everybody's gonna remember you as Mike Barnes. How do you feel connected with this character?
It's really funny you say that because I just watched that Andrew McCarthy documentary about,
Love that. Love it. It was
and I
awesome.
really liked it. And I've always been a fan of Andrew McCarthy's. And I wasn't aware that the moniker Brat Pack represented something so pejorative and negative for a lot of them.
Yeah.
And like everybody, I figured, oh God, they're just all best friends and hang out. And you find out that. So, but I said to my wife, I said, I can really relate to this on a smaller level. I mean, obviously, I didn't experience that kind of manic fame that they did. But my point was, I think there was a point in my life where I very easily could have said, wow, am I going to be Mike Barnes for the rest of my life and put a negative spin on it? And I'm a firm believer, and I talk about this in my books and my coaching and my speaking. It's really important the story that you attach to the experience in life. And I attached a great story to it. I mean, first of all,
Mhm.
I had the whole thing around this lost my life filming Karate Kid 3.
Yeah.
And the fact that I made it through that, Karate Kid 3 will always have a important place in my life. But, you know, playing Mike Barnes has introduced me to people all over the world. It's provided me with the opportunity to come back and be a part of this series. And I think I would be foolish to be anything but grateful for it. So I've always had a positive attachment. Now, by the same token, I've also gone on and done an immense amount of work beyond Mike
Right.
Barnes. But I think even if I never did that, I would probably choose to look at it in a positive way. And I certainly do now.
Amazing, amazing. So we have Cobra Kai season six, July 18th. Obviously we're gonna see Mike Barnes in it. Anything else you could tease about us or give us? I know you got, like you said, you got the surgery coming up, but like Studio City,
Yeah,
and you
well, I
got the
think
soap opera.
I'm in my 24th year on The Bold and the Beautiful.
Yeah.
24th year since I started. I'm still on Bold and the Beautiful for CBS. My show Studio City, which is an Emmy Award winning limited series, is now on Roku, Tubi, Vudu, the Dove Channel, and Amazon Prime. And if people haven't seen it, I really, really, appeal to you to watch it because it's a terrific, terrific show, and it's been my baby for years. Going to be starting a new show that I'm going to be doing in September in Vegas called Unsuited, which is about the world of poker, and I'm very excited about that. And going to have my new book, which is the third installment of The Way the Cobra series called Cobra Couples that I'm co-authoring with my wife Michelle. That'll be out at the end of the summer. And gosh, what else? I've got two other projects that are going to be happening this year, and I'm doing a TED Talk in October. So this is a
Amazing. You're busy,
busy,
busy.
busy year, man. I like it that way. I
Right.
keep staying out of trouble.
Amazing. What about any more stand up coming up your way?
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to put some more stand up stuff together. It's just a function of finding time to do everything. And the
Right.
thing is, it's doing everything and doing it well. And to go back to Cobra Kai, I really respect the big three for deciding to go out on top. I mean, they certainly could have done this for another couple of years, and the audience would have declined. Probably the reviews would have diminished in their praise, but they could have made a lot of money. And I just feel like if you're going to do something, do it the absolute best you can do it, or don't do it. And that's how I feel about my career, and I know that's how they feel about Cobra Kai. And again, just to go back to it, that's why I'm so excited for everyone to see this final season, because I think they left everything on the field.
Amazing. Sean, let's end this by how can the viewers now and the listeners find your social media, keep up with you with your future projects, more Cobra
Yeah.
Kai and anything
You know
else?
what? Just reach me on Instagram at Sean.Kanan, or on X, previously Twitter, at Sean Kanan. And I keep my DMs on and try and respond to as many people as I can. And if you'd like to pick up my books, Way of the Cobra or Welcome to the Kumite, which is the sequel, you can get them on Amazon, Audible, Kindle, and if you'd like an autographed copy, at wayofthecobra.com.
Amazing. Sean, I want to thank you for giving a few minutes today and
Thanks, brother.
good luck with everything.
Thank you, brother. Best of luck to you too.